Hello and welcome to this new Redbex training video. Today we are going to talk about a feature in Redbex which is called approval. To approve means to officially confirm a piece of data, and in kind of Redbex we are talking about data stored in Redbex, of course. And in Redbex also approval is meant to confirm a piece of data following a set of rules, and this set of rules we call the approval template. Let's just jump into the cold water and I will just show you where we will find these approval templates. The approval template and the approval templates which have been made in Redbex can be found in the data domain. So we have to open the data domain explorer, and then we just select the data domain where we will see open our approval templates, and then of course you have to make sure that you activate the node which you would like to see. In our case, the approval templates here have to be activated, and then now we have the possibility to open all the approval templates which have been stored already to that data domain. So I will just show you the standard workflow. I think it's the best way to just see how it works. Approval workflow consists of many stages. The amount of stages can be designed by your own, and also the amount of people which is necessary to follow one stage is just up to you to select how many people you would like to. So in this approval template we see we have three different stages. The first stage is called the self-check stage, and here we see the self-check stage consists of 5 users. And these 5 users have to approve the stage, but not all of these 5. We have a fulfillment criteria of 2, which means 2 of these 5 people have to approve this stage so we can go to the next stage. And we also see there's approval timestamp of 1 day. So it is given a time for 1 day to approve this stage. If it's not approved, then this stage will just fail and the data will not be approved. The stage will be not approved. We will see the stages somewhat later afterwards. If there is an approvement of 2 of these defined users here within 1 hour, then we leave the stage and we go to the next stage. And this stage is called the supervisor stage. And now we have a fulfillment criteria of 1, which means it's enough for only 1 of these defined users here to confirm this approval stage. So we have the stage approved, and we have 2 days time for this stage. And after that we go to the stage 3, which is called the management approval stage here, and we have the fulfillment criteria of 1 people out of this defined users here, the 2 managers, and they have to approve the approved piece of data within 2 days, and then it is finally approved. So this template has also a general tab here. Here we see we can give it a name. We can group it, of course, using some path, and we have a transcription also. Then there is also approval process security, which is one of 2 different options. We have the security option simple and password. Simple means that the logged on user just has to click to an approval command he is presented, and then the approve is verified. And if you set to password, then again after he is logged on and he is doing some approval, he is again enter his passwords so to make sure that it's really him approving this stage and not just another guy who's seeing the logged on screen and just doing some approval for him. So in our case we have simple approval security to approve these 3 stages. So this together is just now a workflow. This workflow defines the set of rules which have to be followed to approve a piece of data. And now we have to make the link to the piece of data we actually would like to approve using that workflow. And this link to the data is done by the feature directives. I will just open some feature which we will use for this example. So for example, I would like to use the observations in the level 01 feature to be approved using that standard workflow here. So I'm going to open the feature directives for this feature. And then I can add here an approval template assignment, which means that this feature will be assigned to that approval template. And here I have now several possibilities to do this. The approval template can be applicable for this feature only if I set the first setting here. I can also set the member features here. So if I have a grouping feature, I can assign approval workflow template to all the member features of this grouping feature. And I can also set both this feature and all the member features. As our feature here, this level 02 feature, is not a member feature, a grouping feature, it doesn't make sense to set member features, and I will always only select the first option now. This approval template will be applicable to this feature only. I will set it active, so it will work. And then I have the two possibilities. I can set a template for the feature itself. So in Redbex, it's not only possible to approve observations, I can also approve a whole feature. In my case, I will not do this. I would like to approve observations, and therefore I select the standard workflow which we have just gone through before as the workflow which will be used to approve observations in this feature. Then I have the possibility to auto-start feature approval. I will just leave this blank for now, and we will see afterwards what this would mean if it would select this. So I save this feature directive, and now I have made the link from my standard workflow approval template to the feature I would like to use this template on. So the next step would be I open this feature here. Then I just open the observations, and now we will see all the observations in this feature after just a second. And I will just take any feature. Let's take the first one, and if I press the right mouse button and I see the context menu, and there in the middle of the context menu I see there is the approval menu. And now I have the possibility, as a guy who has entered this data, for example, to set the approval ready. So this means out of my view, I give free this set of data now for approval, and then in the next step, me or any other user who has the grant here can start the approval. Okay, can start the approval workflow by starting the approval process here. If I see there is an error in this data and I have to fix this data before I start the approval, I can go back and set this observation in progress again. So this can be done by the user who has who is in charge of entering this data. He can set ready for approval or set in progress back again. So again, I set ready. And then we see in the next step, if I now start the approval process, from this stage, now I have this dark yellow color here. From this stage, I only can abort the approval process, but I cannot go back to edit the data. So the approval process is started and can't be stopped anymore. It just can be aborted, which will be, of course, logged in the file. And now there is some action necessary. We have seen already in our standard workflow template in the first stage, which is active right now for this observation. I have two of these users to approve this piece of data. And therefore, I am one of these users, manager user. The last one here is the user I'm logged on with. And therefore, I should see this approval task in my approvals. So I open my approvals, which can be seen in the content and structure template ribbon. And if I open this window, I will see really I have here one task to do. There is a feature which is called feature level 1. And this feature is in the stage 1 right now. And to be approved is an observation at the sampling timestamp like given here. And there is also an expiration date. So I have 1 day left to approve this stage. And now I can here approve it, or I can deny the approval, or I also have the possibility to open the observation to have a look what is actually the observation I have to approve. So the feature editor is opened using an internal filter which just shows me the observation which is subject of the approval right now. Then I can check this data, and if it's fine for me, I will press the approve menu and give some comments. And then the stage 1 is left for this feature right now. Now let's have a little look to our reference manual, to the theory of approval. There you will see we have a section which is called approval. Just can also search for it using our search feature here. And then you see the approval states which are available in Redbex and how to come from one approval state to another. For example, we had in progress and ready, like we have seen before. So we see from the state in progress to ready, it's possible to go if you're a user who has, like you see here the first, who has the permission to modify the observation. And also I can go back from ready to in progress, of course, if I have the permission to modify this observation. But if this the state is gone to in approval, then I do not have the possibility to go back to in progress already. I just can go to the state approved, aborted, or denied, or if I don't do anything within the time span, it will be expired. And after this, if all the people followed the rules and approved this piece of data, then it's not possible to withdraw this approval anymore. It's just possible for one of these users who've been in charge of the approval workflow to mark this approval as erroneous. So the approving process itself is done, it's fulfilled, but is marked as erroneous afterwards. This is the only possibility if one of these guys changed his mind and he would like to tell that there was an error within the approval process, he can mark this approval, the whole approval process, erroneous. And then an approval process can be restarted and all the stages have to be fulfilled again. So this might sound a little bit confusing to you, but I would just invite you to play around with these approval processes, make your own approval workflows, start with one stage only, and also be careful that you don't invite users here which are not available at this moment, because, for example, if none of these users 1 to 4 would be available right now, this fulfillment criteria of 2 could not be fulfilled because only the user manager is here to approve this stage, but we need 2 users to approve this stage to go to the next step. Please also take notice of our reference manual, you will find a lot of information here about approval templates, about the approval workflow, the obligations to approve a certain approval workflow, and how to obsolete and erroneous approvals.